Hi, it's John McConnell, President and CEO of Victoria Gold. This is a bit of an experiment today. We're filming this from the Eagle mine site. Eagle is in the Yukon territory, geographically roughly in the center. And in the background, you can see the open pit in operation. So I'll just give you a quick little tour. Off to my right, your left, I guess, is the open pit, and you can see a shovel under maintenance there. Down here is another shovel loading trucks, and then directly behind me is a loader loading trucks. And if we move over to the my left, you can see the leach pad. Currently, we're stacking on the pad, and gives you a sense of the scale of the operation.
It sure does.
Back to you, Matt.
It sure does, John, because all I've ever seen is a photograph with some, words. Here's where things will be. That's pretty impressive stuff. And how have things been there for you? Because obviously we've been reading about wildfires as well, so it hasn't made things easy. So are things on track?
Yeah, everything is going, I would say, okay. We're still experiencing a few challenges. You talked about the wildfires earlier in July. Currently, you couldn't start a fire up here with a blowtorch because we've had heavy rains for the last 2 weeks. So, no risk of fires right now. But there are challenges. It is mining. And, we've talked in the past about some of the COVID-related challenges. We're still experiencing supply chain problems, some of which are, COVID-related. But I think in general, the biggest challenge for us, like all employers, it seems, around the world, is people. We have a real shortage of people, and we're operating the mine all right, but we could certainly use both higher quality and more quantity of people, and our recruitment folks are working really hard to make sure we're fully staffed here.
Right, because when we've talked in the past, we always talk about Project 250 and maybe Project 300 as well. You're kind of, it looks like from the QT numbers, you're in kind of steady state at the moment. Is that because, I guess you've been dealing with COVID, been dealing with floods, been dealing with fires. It's all been thrown at you. Staffing costs, getting good people and then having to pay them whatever there is that they're demanding these days, inflation. I mean, it's all happening, but you're still producing. But do you feel that it's kind of plateauing a bit at the moment? And what's it going to take to kind of get out of that and sort of step change up to this Project 250 level?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it is a challenge, and some aspects of Project 250 we've put on hold. Because of increasing costs, a shortage of people. But the biggest component of Project 250 is going to year-round stacking. And, we're very confident we'll get to year-round this year. We'll still need, a few weeks of maintenance downtime in January. But, where we were shut down for 8 weeks last year, we're scheduling 4 weeks in 2023. So that's a big step towards Project 250. Some of the things I've talked about in the past, like scalping off the files, it's still in the plan, but the plant itself, the costs went out of control. So, we've pulled back a little bit, and I guess in some ways we've said, let's learn to walk before we run, and make sure we get a solid 200,000 ounces per year before we're trying to have that big step up to 250,000 ounces per year. Still very achievable, but, it'll probably be later in 2023 before we achieve.
Right, and look with the fine scalping, obviously best intent, best foot forward, but you've got to look at the allocation of capital and the return on capital invested as well. So that would suggest to me you're saying, well, one is probably wouldn't necessarily be economic or as economic, and it might be a distraction to you now. But it also says to me that you suspect, or you would hope, that these inflationary pressures that all companies are going through at the moment will come off a bit. I mean, is that your hope or expectation?
Yeah, and I think, we're seeing that. The fuel prices have come down a little bit. We're also seeing improvements in supply chain, which is a problem. We ordered this screen deck for scalping back in November of last year, and it just kept getting extended out. We thought it would be delivered by June of this year. Now they're suggesting it might be as late as November of this year. So, that's the kind of things we're dealing with. Simple parts for, Caterpillar equipment used to be delivered in 3 weeks. They're now taking 3 months. So there's some real challenges around that.
Well, yeah, I think most production companies, or even exploration companies, I guess, are moving from a sort of just-in-time strategy to having inventory to hand to kind of speed things up, and I guess that's an adjustment that companies are going to have to go through. Look, what I want to talk about, and I'm desperate to get through this interview without us losing the line to you. So, excuse me for rushing. If we talked about, I asked about return on capital invested. If it's not going to go on things like the fine scalping, if it's not going to go on kind of capital outlays like that, are you going to increase the exploration budget? Because that would seem a good use of money.
Yeah, we have a very large exploration program this year. We currently have 3 drills running. We actually have 4 drills in place, but again, it's a people problem. But we hope to have the 4th drill up and running here within the next 3 weeks. And, we've drilled 10,000 meters to date, and I think some plus 40 holes. And this is all at Raven, which is out to the east of Eagle. So big program. Our budget this year is $20 million. We have, or I shouldn't say this year, over a 2-year period is $20 million. And, we hope to have the maiden resource from Raven out by the end of the year.
Right. And what does that do for you, though? Because obviously, look, you're now throwing off cash. That's a very good place to be in this economic climate. You put you in control of your own destiny in terms of how you allocate that capital and what you do with it. But at the same time, there's a job to be done in terms of painting a picture for maybe someone who may want to come in and acquire you guys. So that there's lots of jobs that you're trying to do in terms of that. A narrative into the marketplace, and also a kind of picture for industry players too. So how do you view all of that? Are you just a cash cow, or are you trying to make yourself look a little bit sexy?
I mean, we'd all like to grow the company and become a multi-asset mining company. But, we've looked at a lot of projects in North America. And we think the best way to growth is in our own backyard. Projects like Raven and Lynx, we think that's the best opportunity for growth in the future. And as you say, we've got the cash now so that we can develop those assets.
But I understand what you're saying about organic growth, for sure. It's a smart way to go. But I'm talking about other people looking in from outside at companies like yours. We've seen obviously Yamana and Goldfields do, well, it's not done yet, but we've seen some big transactions where gold producers have been building up cash reserves. The gold price is good. People are making money, and they've got to work out what they do with it. So, do you not think that you will start to look quite attractive, not just because of the ounces that you're throwing off, but because of the cash that you're throwing off, and the potential and the exploration and the increasing resource profile that it could give someone.
Yeah, I mean, we field a lot of inquiries from mid-tier and senior companies, and I expect that to continue. We still don't think this is the right time to be selling Victoria, so we're not carrying out an active process. But if somebody calls and wants to have a closer look at Victoria, we're open to doing that.
Right. Okay. No. Understood. And so, right. What are you going to leave us with in terms of a view? What else can we be looking at? I always love a big boy's toys. So I don't know if you've got any near you.
Yeah, I think you're probably seeing in the background a truck being loaded here behind me.
Right.
That's right.
So what's that getting loaded with, and where does it go, and what happens to the load that it's got in there?
So it's loading ore right now, and that'll go down and go through the primary crusher, and then on to the secondary and tertiary crushers. And then there's an overland conveyor to the leach pad over behind me or to my left. And it's stacked on the leach pad. We put a dilute cyanide solution on it that dissolves the gold, and then we pump the solution into the gold recovery plant, and through a process with carbon, we extract the gold, and eventually we pour dory bars.
It's simple stuff, really, isn't it? Mining. I know it's not. I know it's really hard. Hey, well, look, John, I appreciate you calling in from site. It's lovely to kind of see it all in action. It makes it more real in a way. And I know it's been a tough old year. So I wish you well for the in terms of everything that's been thrown at miners in the Yukon. But wish you well for the rest of this year. And good luck with your site visit.
All right, great talking to you, Matthew, and hopefully we get over to see you in the UK in the fall.
I look forward to it.